Eucharisto Yorgo. Kalispera. I come from the island of Manhattan, not in the island of Greece. I want to sign up for that program, Summer in Greece. How many other people want to go to one of the islands and get education? Sign me up immediately, please. I'm very excited to be here for two reasons. One is I love Greece. I love Greece. My father grew up in a village called Karitsa near Larissa, which is about 200 miles from here, with his 8 brothers and sisters and a little house, and they all emigrated over a 30-year period. And little did my papu know that his grandson would be the CEO of the Americas for Publicists Group one day. And that's really the excitement of the people of Greece. Because of our tenacity and our hard work, we make the impossible happen. And anything is possible in Greece. The second reason why I'm excited to be here is I've dedicated 25 years of my life to marketing as the former CEO of the Americas for Publicists Group. I've worked on the top luxury brands. I've done 6 Olympic Games. In fact, I worked on the Olympic torch relay here in Greece, and I took my father to the opening ceremonies. I think Phil Collins sat next to me, and Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, sat on the other side, and it was one of the most proudest moments. And it's one of those things where you want to go back and tell the world what's going on. But I've also worked on luxury brands. And so forgive me because I'm going to have a very American perspective tonight. And I'm very lucky because I worked with the Greek National Tourism Office last year on their 2017 summer campaign where Minister Kontora said, we have to make Greece into a destination 365 days a year. And the program was massively successful. Thank you. So two of the things that happened, of course, you've seen the double-digit numbers of tourism from the United States to Greece. Anybody can tell me, take a guess what the number of Americans that visited Greece last year? Anybody know? I don't mean to ask you any questions before dinner. It's been a long 2 days. I know I'm standing between you here and you're in Souvlaki and Salada. Take a guess. Anybody know? 700,000. Do you know how many people went to Mexico last year from the United States? Take a guess. 24 million. So when we pat ourselves on the back in the United States and we say, hey, great job sending Americans to Greece, we've only scratched the surface for 2 reasons. One is the economy. Whoever you vote for and whoever you love, whether it's Hillary or Donald Trump or Barack Obama, the economy's back in the United States. And there are 3 amazing factors that are taking place. The luxury audience is looking for destinations to go to. The second is there's incentive travel again, where companies are sending large groups and they pay full dollar. They spend money like crazy in all these villages and cities. And those are incredible opportunities. And in fact, when we worked on the campaign, does anybody know about the World Economic Forum does an annual competitiveness study? In fact, do you know there are 7 global studies that are done on reputation and brand? And take a guess where Greece was 5 years ago on 1 to 400 countries. Anybody want to guess? I know, again, I'll throw out some baklava, whoever is the winner here. But it was like number 50. Because of the great reputation and press, Greece has moved 7 points from 31 to 24. They just released it at Davos. Greece is considered reputationally one of the best success stories. But how many people in this room are satisfied with Greece being in the top 25? Do you think we should be in the top 25? Yeah, we should be in the top 10. You know why? Because what we have is incomparable. And for years, we compare ourselves to everybody else. And the fact of the matter is Greece is incomparable. One of the things I just came out of a session on digital, and I was with my friends at Google, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But has anybody Googled Greek tourism? What's the Greek word for Google, by the way? Google. We didn't invent Google, but we should have. We invented everything else. But when you Google Greece tourism vacation, what do you tend to see? The Acropolis, Santorini, Mykonos, Disco, the family and the food. You see the Capaneos, you see all that. You know what's missing though? And I challenge you, even on your phone, I'll forgive you all if you do it right now. Google and you'll not see a picture of a Greek. It's true. You'll see iconic destinations, you'll see beaches, you'll see all those places, but you won't see a picture of a Greek. Our greatest asset, what makes us different, is the spirit of philotomo. And that is the thing that separates us from everything else. It's not the beaches, it's not the history, it's our people. And right now, the Greek people don't feel great. They feel demoralized, they feel exhausted, but they're coming back. You know, at Disney World, every time someone walks in, they measure how many people smile. And for every person that smiles, and guests they call them, that smiles, it equals dollars. Imagine if we could make 11 million people in Greece smile. Imagine what we can do for tourism. So that's just one other point. When we did the research last year, you know, here were sort of the big 5 insights. And how am I doing on time? Am I doing okay? Great, because I want to use up the rest of it. I only have 50 pages left. As Americans, we have to be the center of attention, as you know. George Bushy. People are aware of Greece, and you know, you see it on coffee cups in New York, right? The Acropolis. They're familiar, but they don't know Greece. You know why? Because they don't know the people, because the people aren't in the photos, and we don't tell stories about individuals. We tell stories about locations. We tell stories about famous buildings and museums. So we need a modern narrative for Greece that honors our history, but shows the vibrancy. I mean, I was in Athens a few days ago, and I'm a guy who's traveled around the world, and I can't believe what's happening in Athens and Thessaloniki and some of these cities. We need that innovative image, the young people, the energy, the arts, the culture. The more that people know us, the greater the familiarity, the more they'll trust us. And we know that we want to be working and visiting people that we know and trust. And when you take a look at this region, is there a place that's safer, more hospitable than Greece? I dare you to find another one. We needed to demonstrate how Greece's assets, their history, natural beauty, infrastructure, and people make it incomparable. I don't want to compare it to Italy or Spain, or what is it called, Pirum, or wherever it is that we're going here, or on a cruise ship, because you know what, it's incomparable. And if we start to feel and believe that it's special, the rest of the world will feel it. And when we are special, then we can charge whatever we want. And that's called margin. And we need to intersect Greece's unmatched assets, and I'll use the word relevancy. You know, that people are looking for exploration and adventure. They're looking for authenticity and culture. They're looking for environmentally friendly. They're looking for urban oases and shopping and dining. And they're looking for unmatched meeting destinations. Do we have those here? So, I mean, I think it's time to start making Greece relevant, because we are relevant, because we're leading. And we have to continue to do so. The final is the battle for money, because, you know, in Greece, we have a lot of different organizations that are spending money on tourism. But, you know, when we're fighting in the US to bring those 700 visitors from the United States to Greece, we're fighting against states in the Union. Can anybody take a guess what Florida spends on tourism? Not on infrastructure, on advertising, social media, and digital. Take a wild guess. Anybody want to get $84 million. Hawaii spends $82 million. California spends $64 million. Illinois, you've only heard of Chicago, most of the people, because there's a great Greek restaurant and there's some churches, and my cousin moved there many years ago. Illinois will spend $53 million. And so the money's in Greece, but we have to pull it together to what I call create scale. Because if we're going to compete for visitors, we have to have scale. China will spend $300 million. Germany will spend $88 million. So imagine if we're going to develop a campaign to bring more luxury travelers to Greece. We don't have to be that strategic. Let's pick China, the United States, and Germany, and we'll fill up every hotel. So if there are 3 strategies that I want to leave you with tonight in terms of what the opportunities are for Greece, it's information and integration is number 1 for scale. We need information and data. It's very hard even to understand, I'm sure for all of you, how many people are visiting from what country, who records it, because if you can't measure it, then you can't create ROI and you can't build on it. And I think there's a great opportunity to do that. We have to, you know, if we were Steve Jobs and he were alive, and we were to say, Steve, we have this product, it's called Grease. It's iconic, it had the greatest operating system in the world, we had the smartest engineers, we had the most beautiful design, what would you do? He'd say you have to completely rethink it differently. And in fact, I was just in a meeting with Google, we were in another meeting, and they're in the process of digitizing many of the Greece's top assets, and so is the American the American Classic School of Athens. So imagine if we can digitize our assets, and you want to go to Olympia to see where the Olympics were, and imagine, and this is the other thing that no one else has, there are hundreds of thousands of hours of content. National Geographic, the History Channel, all the content exists. If we can pull all these assets, digitize them, bring in the content, then we should be able to get people excited about Greece before they ever get on an airplane. They can go visit the places they want to go, click on them, and it'll provide you an itinerary and a price. For a country of 11 million people, no one can do that, I assure you. And we can. Everything is possible in Greece. The second part of integration is you have the prefectures, the regions, the islands, SETI, the federations, the banks, the European Investment Union, the Bank of Greece, International Monetary Fund, World Bank. Everybody has investment into tourism. Imagine if we can pull those dollars together, we can make the 84 million that Florida's spending look insignificant. If we combine it with technology and innovation, we can be in that top 5 destination.
Jim.
And that's it. And I was going to say, Ευχαριστώ πολύ. It's a great pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ την πολύ ενδιαφέρουσα τοποθέτησή του. Εάν όλα αυτά που μας είπε έχουν σαν στόχο να προσπαθήσουμε να φέρουμε τα 24 εκατομμύρια Αμερικανούς πολίτες που πάνε στο Μεξικό στην Ελλάδα, τότε νομίζω ότι θα έχουμε κάνει ένα πολύ μεγάλο βήμα. Έχουμε κάποια σχόλια μεταξύ μας ή να δώσουμε το λόγο από κάτω.
Ναι. Υπάρχει ένα σχόλιο το οποίο έχει να κάνει με luxury tourism. Σίγουρα υπάρχουν πάρα πολλά πράγματα που μπορούμε να κάνουμε, αλλά δεν θα πρέπει να ξεχνάμε ότι δεν μπορεί κάποιος να φέρει τουρισμό luxury στην Ελλάδα αν δεν έχει ελεγκτές ενιαίες κυκλοφορίας, να δεθούν τα αεροσκάφη. Ξεκινάμε να λέμε data, να φέρουμε luxury τουρισμό σε ένα νησί το οποίο δεν έχει ασθενοφόρο. Ο luxury τουρίστας ο οποίος πηγαίνει στο Μεξικό και στα οποιαδήποτε resorts που πηγαίνει στο Μεξικό, ξέρει ότι τον περιμένει μια υποδομή παραπλήσια με αυτή την οποία έχει στη χώρα την οποία άφησε. Άρα, προτού μπούμε στα ευχολόγια, εγώ θα ήθελα να σας πω ότι ναι στο luxury τουρισμό, αλλά απαιτεί πολύ σκληρή δουλειά, απαιτεί οργάνωση και το βασικότερο απ' όλα απαιτεί συνεργασία και συνεννόηση μεταξύ μας. Το να φέρει απλά ένα ξενοδοχείο 6 αστέρων ένα τουρίστα δεν μπορεί να γίνει έτσι μαζικά. Δεν υπάρχει τέτοια μαγεία. Θα πρέπει το νησί να έχει την υποδομή και μιλάω για βασικά πράγματα. Μην ξεχνάτε, έχουμε νησιά αυτή τη στιγμή στο Αιγαίο, τα οποία δεν έχουν πυροσβεστικό, δεν έχουν ασθενοφόρο. Αυτό.
Francis.
I would like to focus on quality rather than quantity. I think we need to focus, for too long Greece has focused on quantity. I think it's time to turn our minds and start thinking of quality. And quality is the most important thing. So if you can have quantities, but you can do just the same impact financially and in terms of revenue from high quality, smaller numbers.
Ευχαριστούμε. Ερώτηση, τοποθέτηση από το ακροατήριο. Παρακαλώ.
Yes, my name is Maria Gregory, and I'm with Kudos Life Experiences. I'm in the travel industry, luxury travel, and I just attended a conference in Italy, and the topic was over tourism. what is your thoughts about over-tourism, especially given that there have been articles written about avoid Santorini because it's too crowded? How do we deal with that and address that?
Το απευθύνει σε όλους, το ερώτημά σου. What do you think?
Personally, I would like to hear from these folks who's in the same field.
Okay. Can you reply the question for me, sir?
Basically, when I was in the conference, there was an issue stated about over-tourism. Over-tourism. So how do we deal with too many cruise ships, arriving in Santorini at the same time, flooding Firaia, and the luxury tourists not being able to experience the Greece that we want them to see and experience?
Αυτό είναι ένα πρόβλημα το οποίο αντιμετωπίζουμε σχεδόν κάθε καλοκαίρι με τα κουραζιερόπλαια στη Σαντορίνη. Οι λύσεις που ακούμε είναι για κάποιο λιμάνι. Ουσιαστική λύση σε αυτό το πρόβλημα λόγω της μορφολογίας της Σαντορίνης δεν υπάρχει και είναι τόσο πολλά τα κουραζιερόπλαια. Αυτό που έχουν καταφέρει να κάνουν είναι να κάνουν extend την περίοδο που έρχονται, δηλαδή να αυξήσουμε, να αρχίσουν τα κουραζιερόπλαια να έρχονται από τον Μάρτιο ως και τον Νοέμβριο, αντί να συσσωρεύονται όλα. Σίγουρα χρειάζονται υποδομές περισσότερες, ειδικά στη Σαντορίνη και στο κομμάτι του τελεφερίκ. Εμείς προσπαθούμε κάποιες εναλλακτικές με κάποια τέντερ να τους πάρουμε και να τους βγάλουμε στο αμμούδι και κάποια άλλα έτσι κόλπα, για να το πω, για να μπορέσει να μην περιμένει κάποιος 2 ώρες στο τελεφερίκ για να κατέβει και έχει τύχει να χάσουν πολλοί άνθρωποι, ακόμα και το κουραζιερόπλαιο γι' αυτό. Οπότε ευελπιστούμε σε μία λύση με κάποιο μεγαλύτερο λιμάνι και σίγουρα κάποιες καλύτερες υποδομές.
I'll be very brief. I'm going to answer in English, since the question was in English. So we're facing the same problem with airports, right? They're just like a mini picture of the whole island. So you have a peak traffic coming in, like 4 or 5 aircraft. You have the whole terminal being overflooded with people. Don't forget, we're not going to yet have the new buildings that we're building. It's going to take 1 or 2 summers, in some cases 3 summers, to have these full large terminals in place. One of the tricks that we did this year in order to manage a little bit better the traffic is actually what I just said, manage it better, which is sometimes you need to say no. Not necessarily no, don't come, but rather saying you can come at this time and the next one will come after a few hours. This is a better experience for the passenger, this is a better experience for the airline, and if we're talking about luxury, trust me, that's exactly what luxury tourism wants. They just want to come in and get out nicely and have a very nice experience. At the end of the day, every visit, tourism, everything is about experience. It's customer experience. Thanks.
Άλλη ερώτηση. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ.